So my ceiling's on a slope, now what do I do? Hello, I'm Steve. This is the Patio Heat channel, where we create visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. This one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decision for your application. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful, as it helps others find our channel. Now let's get heating. Alright, so here we have this residential application. And first of all, you can see we have just a couple of different seating arrangements, casual here, and then also dining over here. There is a door that slides left and right. You can see we have a couple of fans up here in the ceiling, as well as some recessed lighting built in as well. Okay, I think that's about it. Let's go right into the overall dimensions that I have. So I have 20 feet this direction, 13 feet this outer edge here. The inside edge from this beam to the structure over here, I have at 10.6. I don't know what the true overlap here. I think I have it around 6 inches from this edge here to here. We don't know the true distances between the two fans, nor do we know the lighting. So that's going to be something that we'll have to look at, or the customer will actually have to make a decision on. Height over here we have at total ceiling height of roughly 8 feet off the floor, and then the bottom edge of this beam here at 7'3", and I think that's about it. You can see here, just for reference purposes, I have this model here at 6'1", and alright, let's go ahead and turn that off. So what about a slope ceiling? Let's talk about placing possibly some Infratech heaters on a slope ceiling. So here in this particular application, I have chosen the SlimLine 4000 watt units. SlimLine 4000 watt units are great for this application. However, they have to be on a level surface. So what I want to show you here is you'll see here there's an element, and inside this element there's a glowing steel spring-like mechanism, and that's what produces the heat. And as it heats up, it expands, and then as it cools off, it contracts. Well, as it expands, if it's on a slope, then it's going to go downhill, let's say, on the slope side, and then contract, and the contraction side is going to be more on the uphill side. So, or I should say the downhill side, but the contraction will cause the element to start to go downhill. Let's just put it that way. That's probably the best way to explain it. So you really need to make sure you have these on a level surface. Now, you're not going to always be perfect 100%, but as close to perfection as you can is the best choice. So what would I do in this case here? So what I would do is I would mount this bracket to the ceiling, get my level out, make sure that my heater is level, and then I would probably build some sort of block that would just fill in that gap. So I have the ceiling at 1/4 inch for every foot, and the distance between there and there at that angle would be just 3/4 of an inch. Now these brackets actually do slide along the rail up here, so it doesn't have to be exactly that. So you can always just slide, slide the heater or slide the rail back and forth to get exactly what you want before you make that attachment point on the ceiling. All right, so I think that is about it on that. I do also want to mention, I believe this is a LumaWood construction. Now, quite often we're asked, well, will this attach to a LumaWood? Well, yes, but you need to make sure that that you have some sort of backer in there, possibly. These heaters, for example, weigh about 18 pounds a piece, so each bracket is holding half that weight. So 9 pounds and 9 pounds. I threw these plants on here just to show you that I believe they allow you to hang a plant on it, and if that's true, plants probably or quite closely weigh just as much as half the heater on one bracket. Just a side note to that. Now, you want to check with your manufacturer and your installer to verify that that could be done. but these heaters are not very heavy, so I would think that aluminum wood would be able to support that. I mean, obviously you have a lamp here. These lamp motors are probably much heavier than the heater itself, so or sorry, the fan motors. So again, I believe that should not be an issue, but again, check with your installer manufacturer of the aluminum wood. And then I think that's about it as far as that's concerned. So now let's go back into the heater itself. So I did mention this is a 4,000 watt unit. On this heater here, because of the only place I could really set these heaters is right in the middle and make it so that it's still functionable, I chose the shorter unit. This is the I think it's a 2400 watt unit, and in any case it's much shorter, 39 inches in length, somewhere of that nature. I'm not exactly sure on that one. They do have different lengths of different models, so that is the length, I believe, of that particular model. However, it doesn't put out as much heat as the 4,000 watt units obviously do, but this is the only way I can really get to the point where I want to make sure I have some heat here in the center of the location. So you know, if you're dining over here, obviously, you know, the seating is over here, and you don't need to heat way out here or, you know, inside here for that reason. So that might be something that works out fine. Let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. So this is the rate it puts out. Again, you can see that this is, you know, this is okay for this application, but it just doesn't heat up a whole lot of space. And then, of course, the 4,000 watt units are terrific for this application. However, the position that I have them in right now isn't ideal. So what I would love to see is, number one, if possibly these fan blades are non-combustible, we could move the heater, you know, probably a few feet so that we're up to 6 inches away. So I'll just go 2 feet here, and then also move this one here another 2 feet in. And if that's possible, this would probably be just a little bit more ideal. Now you can see over here we're not capturing this chair over here, so that would be the day that you'd want to go ahead and move the chair in, or move the, you know, dining table in, or the person who doesn't want heat at all could sit out here on this edge, you know, and be fine. So that would be one option. The other option is, if it is combustible, then you just need to make sure you maintain 6 inches of clearance around the heater if, in fact, the blade of the fan is above the bottom of the heater itself. So that's another way you can get around with moving the heater closer to a combustible item, is if you can bring it down below the combustible item. They do actually make brackets that extend down, so that you can, if you need another extra 2 inches, there's a 2, a 4, and a 6 inch extension. So that would also help you to achieve that if that's something you're looking for to do. Let's see if there's anything else here. I think that's about it. You could just go with all of these particular units, but they're just not hot enough. I don't think you're going to be satisfied with it. This is just to offset the heat that you're missing right here in the middle. But going back to what I originally had here, of course you'll see that there's a big gap right here and a big gap right here. So something to make a determination about. All right, so let's go ahead and look at what another option. The only other option I could really see in this application would be to place some units on the outside perimeter. And these are all 4,000 watt SlimLine units as well, mounted to the ceiling, angled out at 25 degrees. 30 degrees probably would be better. And let's go ahead and see what the footprint of heat is. Here you can see that we're heating the outside edge really well. There's going to be, this is the more exposed side. Infratech does claim that when you have it pointed towards the table, chairs, etc., that it has a better potential of heating the ground below it and then radiating that warmth into the atmosphere, which you're obviously standing in. My feeling is more heat above you is ideal, but that's just a personal preference. And you can see here we got a good coverage throughout this whole span here, and we're not capturing about a third of the inside section here. Now this heat ray, travels through space and it's going to absorb into any mass. The table is going to be mass and it's going to absorb into that table itself, so you physically won't feel it down here on your legs and underneath the table. So it's kind of nice to have heat above you if that's possible, and that's kind of why I like the first option a little bit better in this application. So all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, please send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button. We don't advertise. We're not monetized. YouTube will not promote us in any way unless we receive your thumbs up. And we thank you so much for doing that. Have a great day.